Shalom. Kal halalim la Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakah Kodash, Barakti Yahweh, Barakti Yahweh Shai, Barakti Yahweh, Barakti Yahweh Shai, Barakti Yahweh, Barakti Yahweh Shai. All praises, honor, glory, and blessings and power be unto His supreme majesty Abanoah Yahweh, and His majesty Wa Yahweh Shai. And double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the prophets of that body, and shalom to the prophets of the affiliate camps. Excuse me. And shalom to the 144,000, wherever they are, scattered to the four corners of the earth. Excuse me, just always get an extra dry throat when I'm trying to make a vid. Okay, so let me go into scripture first before I go into where we at. James 5:1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Verse 3. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Salakia. Verse 5. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth, and have been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in a day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you. Okay? So there's a lot of doom and gloom in the air. People aren't optimistic as they were, many years ago, maybe 2-3 decades ago. Those of you that have lived in a mirthy world, those of you that are in your late 40s, early 50s, that were young men in your 20s, in the mid 90s or late 90s, know that at that time there was a huge feeling of that demonic Christmas spirit. But a lot of us didn't know. We just went along, even though we didn't believe in, at the Bible at that point. Especially those of us like myself are grew up in a different culture. Being an Israelite foreigner. But we just went along with, buying the Christmas tree and decorating it, and by choice, of course. At that time, we didn't know, getting each other's presents and all that kind of stuff, and attending Christmas parties and stuff. Even though for work purposes, you can attend a little get together just to sort of show your face, but just stay away from the abominable food. But we're talking about Christmas parties that you set up yourself, and New Year's Eve celebrations. But even then, when I think about it, I didn't feel happy at that time, even attending New Year's Eve things. It didn't make a difference. It was kind of weird to me, things happening in the dead of winter and cold and shit. And you come out of the club, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And you think, what, and you're freezing and everything. And think, what the hell kind of New Year is this, and Christmas and everything. And then, but, at that time with, everything will be decorated. It'll be so mirthy. There'll be commercials, stores and shops will be open. It wouldn't be the way it is right now, like a dystopian type scenario or dystopian situation, looking like the Book of Eli to a certain degree around most towns and cities, especially here in the UK. This is from a UK perspective, by the way. We know America is just definitely getting hit heavily as well. America is much larger. So there's, wherever Jake is at, Jake's going to make things pop. And Jake is basically you Israelites. Wherever you Israelites are living, you're going to make sure the clubs are full. You're going to make sure the stores are still, operating and all that kind of stuff, But from a UK perspective, this place is done, There are certain places where you can still go and get a drink and maybe, get out and about, just to be circumspect, just to see, if there is a heavy presence of police or army or whatever, because you need to know what time it is as well as watching our prophets and elders, as well as seeing it for yourself, as I say, face value. You can't be just sitting indoors all the time. But this Esau is feeling the pain, right? There's a whole lot of videos which I believe are agents. Some of them are. It's like a snowball effect. The agents start doing the videos, then you got racist Edomites with 3 teeth in their mouth that have never worked. Because they're just used to taking, and they've never really worked. And the people that really work in this country are, your Israelite foreigners, your Nigerian Jakes, and your West Indian Jakes, especially the older generation. They're the ones that really sort of like got things cooking here in the UK. And definitely Elam. Elam uh, has made a big financial impact in this country in terms of their businesses and stuff like that. And there's Jakes amongst them, but Elam as a whole, they live in the nicer neighborhoods. They live to themselves. Even here in the UK, you would think that it ain't like that. It is like that, but Esau, the so-called white man, is bitching and complaining. They're talking about immigration and then the term that they put everywhere: usual suspects, usual suspects. A lot of these guys that are making these videos are agents. So what they're doing here in the UK and in America, if you look at it, they're talking about immigration here in the UK with regards to Arabs and Pakistanis and Indians have been here since the British Empire. They've always been here, but they're mainly focused on Islam. Okay, but Esau's so retarded they can't even tell the difference between who's who anyway. But they're focusing on Islam, and in America they're talking about the so-called Hispanics and the Jakes that are from Haiti and other parts of the world as well. To really entice that race war and piss Jake off. Piss the Edomites off, especially the so-called white man, because they know and they can feel in their spirit that they're losing a foothold. They know that they can't spend lavishly. They don't have disposable income to buy things like they used to. They're losing their homes, their vehicles. They don't have that family love amongst themselves no more, where they get together on Christmas or whatever. They stay at each other's houses and they eat and drink and until they're full, be gluttonous and all that kind of thing and get drunk. They don't have that no more. It's like even their neighborhoods are looking cankered and old, and they're just that same spirit is not there anymore, and Esau can feel it, and Esau is going to fight tooth and nail, because when Jacob's trouble kicks off, it's really going to get wild out here. And you can see online, I mean, there's numerous videos with these so-called British immigration or migration type uh, channels that are focusing on every type of attack that's done by a person of color. They're calling London Londonistan, because of the whole lot of Pakistanis and Afghanistanis and Arabs and London is full, especially East and South London and where I live in West, full of Portuguese Jakes as well, and Jakes from Latin America. And they're predominantly, some of them are light enough to pass for crackers, but they're Jakes still. Um, but a lot of them are like tanned or brown or whatever, and some of them can pass for like your South, Indians, or some of them do. I've seen some until they spoke Spanish. I thought they were Indian, straight up. Um, so they're gonna be caught up in this as well. And they're focusing on a lot of Benjaminites as well. Usual suspects, knife crime, and stuff like that. And a lot of these store robberies as well, where these stores are bum rushed and they use all these dark brown skin tone and so-called black and brown people bum rushing a store and stealing things. And I think a lot of these flash robberies are organized they're paid off and they're done and recorded. And apparently a camera is always available as well to catch real close footage. Okay, remember that as well. All right. Every little thing is done, but it's caught on camera. Like someone's just waiting there with a mobile phone just to record someone getting slashed, and they capture everything. Um, but Esau, the so-called white man, with CCTV, because London is the most, or the UK is got the most CCTVs around the world, right? They can't catch anything though. But these people with mobile phones are catching everything. A lot of that is organized. Some of it's legit. A lot of it's organized. For what reason? To start off that race war. Okay, so it's a combination of things. The lack of jobs. If you go on LinkedIn, if you are have your sort of details on LinkedIn, depending on what you do for work or business or whatever, and you can be anybody, whatever, whether you're a carpenter, builder, whether you're a so-called professional working behind a desk, or whether you have your own business, or whether you're a personal trainer, you're going to be on LinkedIn, and you're going to see a lot of people bitching and moaning about jobs, no one getting back to them. They have numerous interviews, and everybody with numerous years of experience, whether in HR or tech or whatever they're in, accountants or whatever, they're saying that recruiters are messing around with them, and a lot of it's AI technology as well, where AI technology only picks up certain keywords, whereas human eyes would say, okay, this person, we're looking for someone with 5 years experience, but this person has a year's experience or 2 years experience, and and they've got experience in prestigious firms or whatever, and they got laid off. Oh, let's give them a chance. But with AI, it's going to be like, oh, 3 years experience in this. They've got to have this kind of degree, and they've got to have this kind of grade or whatever. So a lot of people, and on top of that, a job that would probably get maybe, I don't know, hypothetically speaking, say 50 or 70 applications is now is probably getting like 400 or 500. So your resume could be like the number 175 on the list, and you'll be overlooked. You know, so along with the job situation, people not having disposable income, the so-called white man losing a foothold, as well. People depressed, people that have taken the whammy jammy when C19 came in. What I mean? Taking the snake juice, and that's messing with their spirit and their mind and making them feel crazy and stuff. You know what I mean? And you can see in the street people wearing pajamas in the middle of the day, walking around dressed bummy. You know, um, and then you got all these, all these weirdos sniffing. I don't know what the hell they're doing. All these heavy gas canisters, is it nitrogen oxide or some shit? I don't know. These things that these children suck on and they become paralyzed or whatever. I've seen some videos on that. Yeah, laughing gas, laughing gas. These empty canisters left on the streets, and I think, what the hell is going on here? And all these youngsters just vaping and stuff like that. Listen to this crazy music and faggots everywhere. Which goes to show we're at the end, because even I forgot the lady's name. Elder Malcolm brought information about her. Oh, I forgot her name. She's a writer. Anyway, I'll come back to mine, Lord willing. All right. And then along with that, right, people are also saying, and then on top of that, Esau, because Galatians 6 verse 7 lets you know that you reap what you sow. Basically you're getting your comeuppance to a certain degree, where these damn devils, these crackers, are feeling it. You know, they're being overlooked in terms of jobs because most of them are retired anyway. Okay, and they're losing their power, where they just get a haircut, have a clean shave, and get a job because they're so-called white, and that's they're losing their power, they're losing their foothold, and then on top of that, they're losing their women. You see women, you see Eve, and you see women of color with crackers too, but for the most part, these so-called white women, they know who the real masculine man is on planet Earth. And Jake is doing quite well, because you see the odd fat bitch with Jake back in the day, but now Jake is getting some nice looking women, man. I've seen Jake, some nice ones, some nice Polish chicks and Russian chicks who could be Jake too, but they look like so-called white women, so that pisses the so-called white man off. I'm talking like thoroughbred, like some badass women Jake is getting, and as well as women of other nations, your Asians and Chinese, Japanese, or whatever, and they look, so Esau losing a foothold, man. They're just being, they're just getting their comeuppance, and and a lot of these rich Edomites are moaning and howling, and they know their miseries are coming upon them, and a lot of these billionaires are trying to find ways which countries they could move to, and New Zealand is a hot spot for them because they believe that won't get hit, and some countries won't get hit with nukes, so they're going to have their bunkers over there because they have the money um, to acquire these things and protection and weapons and right, to acquire these things and have food underground for many, many, many years. So along with that, and along with the depression kicking in, and you got a lot of these individuals that try and get into the so-called Christmas spirit, where they decorate their vehicles up in lights and you know uh, you know have Home Alone playing round the clock on their TV or whatever, you know, have their house all decorated, walking around with Santa hats on and shit. Only some people, you hardly ever see that no more, you know. Um, People are still trying to get into the spirit because they're thinking that, okay, they've got about 10 days, maybe 2 weeks off, and they just want to sleep in and get drunk, eat and drink, you know what I mean, and just spend time with their children and try and get out of the depression phase. But it's still hitting them because, like I said, you know, people don't have that disposable income anymore. And if you look at here, look, Sheffield Christmas market bars empty on Christmas Eve. No Christmas spirit in the UK anymore, right? The channel's called Not Today Satan. All right, and by the way, copyright 1976. I'm not making no money out of this. I'm just emphasizing on what is already being said. So I'm just going to play and let this Edomite talk. All right. And there's another one here. Getting real about my holiday sadness and stress this year. A lot of people are worried about their finances, their family, you know. And there's a lot of, you know, Edomites don't even get together no more, you know. They don't have their family get-togethers no more. You've got Edomite women that are professionals going on holiday alone to Thailand and things like that. And you know why they're going on holiday alone. A lot of them are lonely. They want to get out there and get into, they don't want to be in that Christmas spirit. They want to be in sunshine and around palm trees and shit. And some of these women are going abroad, you know what for as well, to deal with exotic men, right? And pay for it, you know. Here we go, another Edomite. This is from a year ago, by the way. Look, look, look. Why Christmas doesn't feel the same and what to do about it. Let's see what else is there. What else is there? How to get in the Christmas spirit when depressed. Let's see what else is here, man. Why do people get depressed at Christmas? Coping with holiday depression insights from experts. Depressed about Christmas. Dealing with depression at Christmas. They think by putting on extra lights. Help for the holidays with depression and anxiety. All right, let's just go to this one. You know, people have all these aspirations and thinking that, yeah, 2025 is going to be a better year. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna hopefully get I don't know. I'm gonna progress in my career because they don't realize that 2025 is gonna, you know, start off possibly right, but Lord willing, with a literal bang. You know, the 1st of January 2025 supposedly starts on Wednesday, and WTF is what the F, right? So let's just see how the Lord makes things happen. Because as soon as, you know, January the 1st hits on 2025, it's going to be, because we're on the Gregorian calendar and this is a satanic world. Through the Spirit, I believe that the January the 1st, 2025, as soon as it hits on your phones and on your laptops and your TVs, that number is there, 2025, January the 1st, things that the Lord has already amplified because we're on the Gregorian calendar, right? And things are only going to progress in terms of the destruction of this world, you know? And you know, just things imploding, exploding, you know, the financial infrastructure, people's mental health, disposable income, the haves and the have-nots, you know, uh, looking for someone to blame, the racial tensions. I mean, these damn devils talk about immigration, you know, and I made some videos and I made some comments too. I said, listen, man, if you left the world alone the way it was and then turned these third world countries that were once first world countries, right, into third world, these people wouldn't be here. You've stolen their wealth, their riches, and everything. You destroyed their families, their societies, and then you wonder why they're here. This was called the British Empire because, you know, you were ruling over every colony around the world. And obviously, England, Britain being a hub, those people that are from the colonies that were part of the British Empire came here to work and had families and things like that, you know, and they got themselves to blame. Then they're worried about immigration and migration and stuff like that, you know. Okay, let's check this out. Hopefully, a commercial.
Stretching will relax your muscles and make you.
I'll get back onto that YouTube Premium. This damn commercial will come.
Or in a Charlie Beach video yesterday in Manchester, they've actually shut them all down. So yeah, and yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah, and you know, just to add there, like back in the 90s when I was a younger man, there would be a couple of spots that I'd go to just to go and get a woman. You know, you know, I like going places where there's a variety of women to choose from, race wise. You know, depending on your taste buds that day. um, Fridays and Saturdays. We're talking between '98 and 2002. Those places are all gone. You know, and most of the pubs and bars are closed. There's a couple still open, and then you got Elam coming over and buying these old English pubs and trying to revamp it. You know, they have some. You know, obviously they have a better menu, better food, and everything, and they're trying to revamp it. And some of them sort of like keep a foothold as well. And a lot of these Edomites are drinking there, but for the most part, pubs are closing. There used to be a pub on every street in the UK. You know, so there was no such thing as drink driving. Every road, right, you could walk like maybe 200 feet, there'd be another pub, there'd be another pub, there'd be another pub, there'd be another pub. It'll be what you call your local. You know, there's a heavy pub culture where you come home from work. You know, you come from work, or you go straight to the pub. You have 2, 3 pints of beer or whatever, right? And then you go home. Your woman would have your dinner in the oven or whatever. You know, you eat. That's how it was every single day of the week. And these pubs are making money hand over fist. Now these pubs are closing. You know, and then you got Muslims that are doing their call to pray in the middle of London with speakers and shit like that. And Edomites don't like that, man. You know, they don't like that. You know, they don't like that. And there's gonna be 1 second. Let me go to the Jacob's Trouble scripture, man. You know, I was reading Baruch. You know, and you Edomites, man, you are miserable. You're miserable now because you afflicted us, and you rejoiced at our fall. And and now, pursuant to Deuteronomy, Salakia, yeah, Deuteronomy 30 verse 7, I believe. Um, Now the curses are coming upon you, slowly but surely, and now we're rejoicing because our kingdom is coming and it's around the corner. We don't have to wait hundreds of years for it. Lord willing, it could be a year away, man. It could be, man, hope it ain't more than a year away. But if it is, hey, it's a couple of years. It's soon. All right. There's no 4 or 5 years left here on this side. All right, you damn devils, man. It's soon. It could be 2025, man. Lord willing. All right. That's just me hoping. You know, that's the hope that we have. Listen to Hebrews 11 verse 1 and 11 verse 6. Baruch 4:31. Miserable are they that afflicted thee and rejoiced at thy fall. All right, they're miserable. These damn devils are, man. Let's check it out.
To know how busy the Christmas market beer stands are on Christmas Eve. I saw in a Charlie Beach video yesterday in Manchester that they've actually shut them all down. So yeah, I'm intrigued to know. Oh, you know what, mate? Look, you know, Jesus. Yeah, I'm intrigued to know how busy. So let's go and find out on our way to Sheffield Christmas markets. So it's about 7 p.m. as somebody poses for their latest profile pic. Out of the rather soulless Christmas tree, really. There's some nice Christmas people here. But right, so yeah, we're heading to our first markets. These are closed though, to be fair. I think these are shops. But yeah, it's pretty dead. Christmas Eve, 7 p.m. Sheffield City Centre. Oh, even cleared out. Listen to this.
He's still trying to be a DJ now.
Well, oh, we've got a Father Christmas. I assume the bars will still be open. I'll be very disappointed if they're not, as I've come especially for that. Looks like we're giving up on Christmas already. I mean, it's definitely not Christmas vibes. Like, I don't think we ever really came into the city centre as a child. But is that going to be copyrighted? I'll say that in a minute. In fact, it don't really matter, seeing as I'm not monetised yet. But yeah, we used to spend our Christmases with some families, but out and about in an area called Hunter's Bar at Sheffield. You know, maybe it was just because I was a kid, but there was a vibe.
How spiritual is that? He's walking by and the song he's playing is George Michael in the background. And what's that song called? Last Christmas.
Was
look.
Sheffield.
Hear it.
Spend our Christmases with some families, but out and about in a.
When he walks past the Ferris wheel, the song's playing is Last Christmas. And Lord willing, this is the last one. Well, it's gone now anyway, but you know, what's the date today? 29th, you know? But let's just see how New Year's Eve is going to be pretty much the same thing. Pretty much the same thing, all right? You're gonna have a couple of people out and about, a couple of clubs popping here in London or whatever, or different parts of the country. But most people are going to be at home, feeling the same damn way.
Area called Hunter's Bar at Sheffield. Maybe it was just because I was a kid, but there was a
And if you notice who the families that are out and about is Jake. Jake's still trying to be in that spirit.
vibe, was a feeling. Let's see if we can find any vibes or feelings up here. All a bit dead so far. I've just seen it's called Pier View. It's like a piss take, isn't it? Come and view these modern, soulless, square shapes. Ain't no pier in Sheffield, though. He looks about as excited for Christmas as I do. Alright, we're approaching our first bar. Don't tell me it's closed. It's closed? Oh no, it's not. There's people sat there. They've got the plastic pint pots. No doubt £6, but yeah, it's dead. I mean, it can't really be making much money, can it? Still early, I suppose. Yeah. But yeah, pretty dead. What I want to know is, where are the toilets? Do they have toilets? Because we all know that, once you're having a few shandies, once you break the seal, you're going to need to go for quite a few toilet trips. But yeah, what do you do if you're drinking here? Let me know in the comments.
That's another thing as well. The removal of public amenities as well. Certain places have them. If you go to a mall or whatever to go shopping, they'll have bathrooms there, male and female washrooms, as they say in the States. But for the most part, you've got to always look for a pub or a bar, which could, if there's one open, or a restaurant or whatever, to use their public bathroom. So nowadays, like in the 90s, there'll be public bathrooms everywhere. Nowadays, if you're going somewhere, you've got to make sure that, okay, cool, we're going there. Let's Google to see if there's public bathrooms there. And if there is there, you could have to pay for it possibly. Okay, and that's another thing, especially if you're traveling with older people and children, and you got to change nappies of children. Where the hell are you going to do it? There's still facilities out there, but it's not as it's not blatantly there how it used to be on pretty much every corner or around the corner. There'd be signs up everywhere. And yeah.
Comments if you have any idea. So that area of Sheffield is known as the Moor. Now we're heading up to Fargate, which I expect to be a bit busier. But so far, we can say Christmas Eve celebrations in Sheffield city centre are dull. They are a damp squib. Something's attracting the local community. What is it? Pancakes? I think it's pancakes, something along those lines. Something new on the other side of it.
And this is Sheffield as well. Okay, this is up north. Have you noticed that the number of people that are brown? Okay, this is another thing that's pissing Esau off. Edomites are not out and about. It's basically people that are brown. You got a couple of Jake families there. You got a couple of Ishmaelite families there. You got a couple of Elamite families there. I haven't seen not one Edomite family, skipping together and all that kind of thing, or happy and shit.
This is a defibrillator, and as you'll see, this chap is using it to charge up his phone. It's a good feature, isn't it? Awesome. Lottie, yes. Now that's a lighting I like. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but that is a nice, healthy amber glow. Not like all the other lights we see everywhere, particularly in street lamps now and all that technology. That is blue and black.
Anyway, let's just leave that there. We know as a whole, the Lord Yahweh Shem Hashai is strangling the life out of Babylon, and pursuant to the book of Jeremiah, right? Jeremiah 10. You're not supposed to celebrate Christmas because it's a demonic holiday. It's Saturnalia, all right? There's also the influence of Nimrod as well, hence the Christmas tree. There's a whole history about that. You can check that out yourself, but otherwise, read Jeremiah 10 onwards. And New Year's Eve, there is no New Year's in the dead of winter. The New Year's is between March and April every year, when life springs forth. The beautiful smell of the grass, the flowers growing, the daffodils, the daisies coming up, that little warmth of the sun on the back of your neck, on your face, where you feel energized like a Duracell battery, that's when the new year is. Okay, all these holidays are demonic, and because the Lord is squeezing the life out of this world, all those people that, especially the heathen, that are connected to it, because this is their world, they're feeling the pinch, so to speak, in every single way, physically, mentally, financially, because the curses are coming upon them, pursuant to Deuteronomy 30, verse 7. There's video after video after video online, right? But I'm just trying to give you the gist of the situation. Okay? All right. Let's just go to, let's go. Brooke 431 again. Miserable are they that afflicted thee and rejoiced at thy fall. All right? Isaiah 24:11. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. Let's go to the definition of mirth. Definition of mirth. Mirth. Definition of mirth.
This is the definition of myth, a traditional story, especially one concerning the early history of a people or explaining a natural or social phenomenon.
Salakia for that. All right, mirth. Amusement, especially as expressed in laughter. Okay? Amusement. Mirth is amusement expressed in laughter. There's no laughter anymore. Yeah, I mean, the hopeful elect are laughing, you know. We still go out and about, you know. We don't wear pajamas in the street, but we go places where that are sensible to go to. There's nothing wrong with going to a lounge bar if there's one open. If you have a lady friend, or you know, you wanna, if you have a son that's of age to have a little drink with you, it's cool. You know what I mean? But for the most part, you go sensible places. I don't go clubs no more. Um, the music is trash, and the scene out there is just not for me. You know. Plus, as you're getting up in age, you don't really like being around that sort of shit. Especially the music is just trash, man. Because if the music ain't right, I mean, just the club scene's just destroyed now. You know what I mean? They're still open out there, but it's all demonic. It was demonic then, but it's hell more demonic. It's very demonic now. You know. You know. So yeah, man. You know, you can still go out and about here and there, but for the most part, it's not as lively. You know, I would say compare it to the '90s to now. I would say at least 85 to 90% is all gone. The last 15 to 20% is probably remaining, and that's a few spots that are available. It's all being consolidated. Where okay, this is that like this is that one mall to go to, like one or two in London, or maybe Regent Street or Oxford Street to go shopping for any sort of decent clothes or whatever. If you like to get out and about, or some other spots or other towns around, you have to travel a little bit, but most of it's online. There's a couple of places here and there you can go to because people are still trying to make money. I'll give you an example. We've got the first NBA store in London, which opened in 2021, right? With all your, with your, the NBA garments are quite nice to wear. As I say in America, they fly, right? But like for example, they'd open up one store, like a Carhartt store, or maybe an NBA store, or a MBL, Major Baseball League store, or whatever, and they'll close down maybe 20 to 30 others. Okay, so they're closing down a lot more than they're opening. But even when hell breaks loose and this financial infrastructure crashes, these stores are still going to be running. That things are going to be going, because when the elect get their spiritual power, right, and Jacob's trouble kicks off and all that, these stores are going to be running because the elect are not going to take the micro C hip, pursuant to Revelation 13:16. So there's still going to be, business as usual to a certain degree when the elect get their power. All right. But the Lord is still squeezing the life out of this place, because the Lord wants to show the world who his elect are and who he has chosen. Hence the reason there'll still be business as usual to a certain degree. Cameras will be rolling, and these videos will be posted online to show who the elect are. And all these jakes that were downgraded, or so their wives that left them, or their girlfriends that left them, took the children or whatever, or the people that dissed them, all these Edom, all the atrocities and bad things that you went through, right? The whole world is going to see you when you get that power. Okay, all right. The whole world is going to see you, man. All right. Because the Lord, well, let's go to Job 14 verse 5. The Lord has created a timeline, okay, like a race. Once you get past that ribbon, you can stop running, right? Esau still wants to stay in the race, but the Lord Yahweh Shemashai said that there are bounds you cannot pass, right? There's a limit to your rulership. You cannot go beyond that. All right. That's why these damn devils are deleting Israelite athletes, and their hearts and lungs and livers and body parts go missing, because they know who the superior man on the planet Earth is. Okay, and they take their body parts, especially the tribe of Judah, the head tribe, which, pursuant to Hebrews 7:14, our King and His Majesty and our master and his majesty, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, comes from. All right, the so-called black man in America, as well as Jakes that are scattered around the world. All right, that's why they're trying to prolong their life and maybe put their spirit or their what's it called? What do you call that? Their there's terms I forget. Where they can put their memories or something on like a USB stick type thing, and then they can plug it into like an Android, and they can be sort of alive again. You know what I'm trying to say, right? Where they can have their memories and everything, and then they can feel that okay, they're alive again still. Or maybe put into another, you know, some kind of AI animated type flesh. They're trying to stay alive, or maybe like they did in Demolition Man, where they froze Sylvester Stallone for like 30, 40 years or whatever. They want to freeze themselves, or maybe freeze their head. They're trying to look into ways, because they know when they die and they go, because the spirit goes back to the Most High that gave it to you, right? And you're going to end up in front of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and they know that they're going to get their judgment, and they don't want to go into slavery. They don't want to go into slavery, so they're going to try and prolong it. But listen, these are signs that we're at the end. Your low-level Joe six-pack cracker is feeling it, and you heathens are feeling it, all right? But the elect, wherever they are feeling happy about it, are feeling great. We're feeling exhilarated. Yeah, we go through our bouts of depression, but the Lord picks us up. The Lord gives you a little tap on the head, saying, "What are you depressed for? Huh? Why are you depressed for? The kingdom is coming." Might see a spiritual video of a brother that uploaded it. You might see a spiritual number. You might see a chariot in the sky. You might see a rainbow. The Lord might put the spirit on you to find a beautiful spiritual power movie. I don't know. Like I like Superman 2 personally. Yeah, man. I like Superman 2. I watch that again and again and again. You just think about because scriptures come in your mind like our light affliction is but for a moment. And this light affliction is gonna give us such an exceeding weight of glory, man. Like, you go through certain things not working out, and hell after hell after hell. Then you have like inferiority complexes jumping on you, those demons, and so many other things, But then when that time comes, man, because the Lord's going to start slowly changing you physically, spiritually, and mentally, as before that, uh, in your flesh that you are now. But then you're going to get that little change if you are part of that number, where you're going to get that spiritual power. Then certain ailments are going to be healed. You're not going to be walking around with a back problem if you've got spiritual power. All right. And then that great change comes, man, when you get beamed up into the chariot. You're going to be shedding away this flesh, man, and your spirit's going to be, or your soul's going to be into a new body. Imagine how you're going to feel, man. Imagine how you're going to look as well. Everything perfect, man. Perfect beard line. Perfect hairline. Perfect skin. You never lifted a weight in your life and just ripped. You may be 5'11", 6 foot now, where the Lord has blessed you a decent manly height on this side, but imagine being, I don't know, even King David was considered short. He was 9 feet, I believe. Just imagine being like 12 feet tall, and then you can extend your height, as well. Just imagine all of that. Esau wants to have all that, but they can only have that kind of spiritual power in movies. They're not going to have it in reality. You saw what happened to Christopher Reeves, right? When he tried to be Yahweh Shai, called himself Kalel, all powerful, wearing a mantle. That damn devil, the Lord Yahweh Shai, put him in a wheelchair. Okay, put him in a wheelchair after those movies were done, to let him know that you, devil, all right, even if you're 6'4", you're just a devil. Your glory is in the movies. You are not going to have that kind of power, and you are not Kalel. You are not all powerful. Okay, let's go to Job 14:5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds, that he cannot pass. All right. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds, that he cannot pass. You can't pass through that, man. You cannot go beyond the finishing line, Esau. You heathens, you gooks, you Chinese people, you East Indians, you're not going to rule, man. You Arabs ain't going to rule. All right. You Arabs are not going to rule, man. All right. Because we're coming into that time. And it's going to be Jacob's trouble very, very, very soon. Jacob's trouble is going to be everybody's trouble, but Jacob is going to be the primary target. All right. Okay. You know, like that scene in Menace to Society when they're having the picnic and everything and they're cooking or whatever. And the father who's, what's that guy, man? The guy who's a Muslim, his father talks to everybody. He talks about the black man being hunted. All right. He says, yeah, the hunt has begun. Yeah, the hunt's going to begin. The hunt's always been going on. But when Jacob's trouble kicks in, Esau knows that, okay, we got to fight. We really got to get down and dirty. We got to get these ninjas and we got to get these spiggers and we got to get all these people of color, whatever. We're going to lose our foothold. They're really going to get buck wild because everything's going to go out the window. Okay. Because when you lose everything, you have nothing else to lose. You're going to just go crazy. And that's what Jacob's trouble is going to be, man. You know? And a lot of you sell out Jakes that used to proclaim the name of Yahweh Hashem Yashai have gone back to your vomit. And you guys are going to get it worse. Camps like IUIC, GOC, GOCC, that are intentionally poisoning our people, you're going to get it. And judgment's coming for you people. Okay? Judgment's coming for you 2/3, and blessings are coming to you elect. All right? And this is someone like what's that guy, Nate Satan. This is him. Proverbs 26:11. As a dog returneth to his vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly. All right? He was probably in the world before he came in the truth. He's teaching the name of Yahweh Hashem Yashai. Then after proclaiming that royal name, and then afterwards, a decade and a half or maybe two decades later, he was saying that when he hears the name of Yahweh Hashem Yashai, I don't want to say, you know, I'll say what he said. I want to say what he said. He says when he hears a holy name of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yashai, he said, Nate Satan of IUIC said that he has a satanic or demonic feeling. He said it in not so many words, something like that. Okay, so basically he's equated to these Amalekite tunnel diggers, these Ish people, because they can't say the name, and neither can Nate Satan. So the Lord looks at him as filth, okay, as vomit. He's nothing, and he's going to get heavy judgment. All right, he's going to get heavy judgment. I believe anyway. It's up to it's obviously the Lord's decision, but I believe he's going to get heavy judgment. And a lot of these camps that look beautiful on the outside, but inside, they're like an empty mansion. They're just an empty, dusty mansion that needs to be polished up and cleaned. They are not the men of the Lord. There's the elect members amongst them that are probably just like readers or sign holders or whatever, but like in most camps. But you're going to see 2025 a lot of these guys that are in these other camps. These people that even ISUPK keep saying Jesus, the Christ, the Christ. They worship a nigger god and all that kind of stuff, and they never say Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. If they do, very seldom. They might make 3 videos, and they might say the name maybe once or twice. But when they teach you, they say, they just like you know. So you're gonna see a lot of judgment coming, man. But yeah, man. This is just an example. Like New Year's Eve, the bars are gonna be empty as well. People are going to be at home. Some clubs are going to be, listen, some people are still going to be going out. You're going to see some cute ass women with mini skirts on, cold as fuck, you know what I mean? Walking around, going to a club. You're going to still see that, but you're not going to see it how it used to be. You're not going to feel it how it used to be. People ain't going to be bothered. All right. Okay. Because what you're seeing is pursuant to Second Ezra 6 verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of the for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. You're seeing out with the old, in with the new. Okay? And this is the same. I'm going to Sheffield, right, which is up north. Okay? London is pretty much the same way. Yeah, there's parts that are popping, but good 80 to 90% of it is done. All right? And we're approaching end of 2024. Another week or so. Hell, Sunday today, Monday, Tuesday. Another 3 more days. It's going to be 2025. And it's going to be WTF, what the F. Let's see what Yahweh Hashem Yashai does. Anyway, it's doom and gloom for you damn devils, and it's Hip hip hooray, happiness for you elect, man. All right? Okay, our kingdom is coming. Yahweh Shemashah is returning. And you elect, if you're in the know, you know the Lord is showing us spiritual signs, whoever the elect are. All right? Okay? Anyway, all praises to Yahweh Shemashah, Bashem Rakakwadash, Mawatha.